Hey all, welcome back to my channel. My name is John and today we're going to be talking about Amazon FBA and why I think it's an amazing opportunity for you to make money now, still in 2021 May. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you step by step how to sell with Amazon FBA. I've been selling on Amazon FBA for about 2 years now and I've realized the true potential to create an automated system to make passive income while you sleep. Yes, you do need to put a lot of work in at the start to build the business and set up the foundation, but once you get things all set up, you rarely have to do anything. Quick note before we get started, I'm not here to sell you on anything. There's no courses, there's no pitches, you don't have to worry about us going through here and just to tell you to pay for a $1,000 course. The truth is, you don't have to spend a single penny to learn how to do Amazon FBA. It's still a very profitable business in 2021, and I'm going to show you everything you need to know to succeed in Amazon FBA as a beginner. I recommend taking out some pen and paper, take some notes as you watch this video. Also, full disclaimer, this is not a get rich quick type of business idea. Yes, Amazon FBA is still a very profitable business, but this is not a get quick rich scheme. This is not something that tomorrow you're going to wake up overnight and you're going to have $1 million from selling products on Amazon. So if that's what you're looking to do, I recommend that you click out of this video and just stop watching it. Yeah, just stop. Well, if you're still here, surprise! This is a long process to get started, but it will be relatively passive once it's up and running. If you're watching this video, I hope that you maybe already have a job like myself, or you're already in school. It's best if you already have something going on when you start your Amazon FBA business. That way you can start it on the side and build it up over time. Trust me, this is the best way to go about building an Amazon FBA business rather than just jumping into it full time right off the bat. Launch one product, learn from your experience, learn from your mistakes, then launch another one over the next couple of months. That's how I got started, and that's what I recommend. Slow and steady wins the race. I don't want to see you lose your shirt by getting in over your head too quickly and give up on Amazon FBA because you rushed to find your first product to get it launched on Amazon just to see no conversions, no sales, for you to just then drop it. So now that we've gone over all the disclaimers and all the expectations, let's get to the juicy stuff, shall we? In this video, we'll talk about what FBA actually is and how we can make money using it. We'll also go into how to find products using specific tools to make your product research a lot easier. We'll talk about finding suppliers, getting samples, placing bulk orders from overseas and having those shipped over to the States to Amazon's warehouse, and last but not least, creating a quality listing that will eventually get your product sold and how to get your first couple of sales on Amazon. I have worked extremely hard to make this video as detailed as possible. This video encompasses every little thing that I wish I knew before I got started on my own Amazon FBA journey. So you guys are definitely in for a treat. This is going to be more of an overview, and if you're a beginner FBA seller, then this is going to be the perfect video. So the first thing I want to talk about is that there's actually two ways you can make money on Amazon. So the first method is Amazon FBA, and in this method, basically Amazon is handling everything on the customer's end. You are simply sourcing a product, you're making the listing, and you're shipping all these products over to Amazon's warehouse. And when someone buys the product on Amazon.com, Amazon will pack it, ship it, and handle all the customer service. This is also how you're going to be able to offer Amazon Prime shipping on your price. A lot of people will only buy products on Amazon if it comes with the free Prime shipping. So I definitely recommend going this route. The other method is Amazon FBM. And this stands for Amazon Fulfilled by Merchants. It's sort of similar to Amazon FBA in that you still have a listing on Amazon, but you don't get that Prime shipping. And the one thing is, when items do sell, you have to fulfill it yourself. So you need to pack it and you need to ship it to the customers. Obviously, this takes a lot more time and it's way less passive than FBA. But the good thing about this is there are fewer fees when you're selling on FBM compared to FBA fees. FBA fees can kind of get high, but if you pick the right products, which I'm going to show you in a little bit here, and you have a high enough profit, you'll then likely still be able to make a very profitable margin even with Amazon's big FBA fees. FBA is what I've been doing because I want the most passive type of business. So this video is going more into FBA rather than FBM. And for most new sellers on Amazon, I recommend that you get into private labeling. And what private labeling is you're taking these existing products that are already created and you're basically creating your own brand and putting that brand on this generic product. So that's exactly how I've built my business, and I find these generic products at these factories overseas and I basically tell them, hey, I want to customize the product to this shape or have this color, and then I send them my logos and packaging and all that stuff, and they're able to create this product and make it look like it's my own product. The vast majority of sellers on Amazon use private labeling, so I do think that this is the best way for you to get started. If you're focusing on one specific niche, you can do a bunch of different products from that niche and have their brand centered around that type of product. This way you can eventually build some brand equity, and if you ever want to get out of Amazon FBA, you will most likely be able to sell your business off to someone else. Okay, so let's hop into my laptop. Now we're on Amazon's homepage, and you guys are very familiar with the site. I mean, you search whatever you want on here. So let's just say, I don't know, Tesla accessories, because I'm looking to get some. So you type in the product that you want to search and a bunch of products relating to that keyword will populate. Amazon is the biggest search engine for buying things in the world. And you know, if you know Google is a search engine where people are searching different types of information, but specifically when it comes to buying things, Amazon is where people gravitate to, and that's why it's such a great platform to sell on, because everyone in here is looking to buy something. So I quickly want to kind of scroll down Amazon's homepage and just want to see, you know, what type of products that we're looking at here. So this is a sponsored product, meaning someone ran Amazon ads to get this placement on the first page. And also you have a bestsellers badge. Essentially, I'm going to link this down below, but it's very important to familiarize yourself with the different types of Amazon seller badges. So there's the bestseller badge, how to get it. There's also night lights. So again, we see that you have the bestsellers badge here. Oh, Amazon's choice badge. So that's another type of badge that you can have, and I'm gonna take a screenshot and put it up here on the screen just to kind of go over what type of badges there are, as well as sponsored listings and what they look like. And it's very important that you make sure you familiarize yourself with the different badges and the different tiers when it comes to selling on a specific platform such as Amazon and how to get there. So that's your mindset. We know that Amazon is a search engine, the biggest search engine when it comes to buying things. So we want to make sure that we leverage this platform to be able to get the most amount of exposure for our products and people looking for our products, because guess what? There's a really high chance that if they search a product on Amazon's platform that they're actually going to buy, and it's going to be a very quick and short conversion process. The goal is to get to the first page. And in order to do that, we need to have a ton of reviews. You need to have a quality listing. You need to have a quality product, because obviously that's going to be the most important thing that affects your listing. Your reviews are the end all be all. And the number of purchases are also very important as well. If you make the first page of any product with any keyword search, you're going to have a ton of sales. Like even for very specific niche products that you don't think there are many people that will be buying these products, well, guess what? There are people buying that specific product on Amazon. So if you're able to find a very niche product and actually be able to rank on the first page, then your product will do very, very well. You obviously have the option to buy your way into it, which is by running a sponsored ad for your product so it shows up on the first page. However, when starting off Amazon, I wouldn't recommend that you spend money to run sponsored posts, because that would eat into your initial capital and would affect the longevity of your product and how long you can start and run your Amazon FBA business for. Because the money that you put into these ads, these sponsored ads, you're not sure when and if you're going to get a return on that investment because you haven't validated the product yet. I would really hold off that. But if you keep listening, I will definitely get into how you can get your first few organic sales later on in this video. With that being said, to get to the first page of Amazon, the most important thing is you have to have a killer product. Now, when we're getting started with Amazon FBA, you have to be extremely diligent with your product research. If you find a product that is not going to sell, well, then your business is already going to be doomed from the get, and you probably won't make any money, and you're probably losing a ton of money. So that's why it's so important to find a good product that actually brings a profit and there's actually demand for. So the good news is, when it comes to finding products, there are many tools to help you out with product research. One of the most popular tools for Amazon FBA sellers is Jungle Scout. There's also Helium 10, but the one that I currently use right now is Viral Launch. And the reason why is because it's more niche. It's definitely one of the newer product research tools out there. And although Jungle Scout, Helium 10, and Viral Launch more or less do the exact same thing, and they pull the similar data, I do find the interface for Viral Launch more intuitive. So that's why I decided to go with that. And for Viral Launch, you have this Chrome extension that you can install. So essentially the Chrome extension would be able to tell you more information about this product. Viral Launch has a Chrome extension, and when you're on Amazon.com and you look for a product that you want to sell, for example, night lights, you can simply click on the Chrome extension, and this is a market intelligence tool. And basically what this market intelligence tool does is it populates and it extracts very specific information that would help you determine if this is a good product for you to sell, and if there's demand for this product, what sort of profits you can expect. So as you can see here, you have the top 10 list of sellers that are selling this product for this specific keyword search term, night lights. The ones that are flagged with the exclamation mark, those are outliers. And the reason why we leave these products out is because they are most likely an established brand already. So when we're trying to figure out if this product is a good product for FBA, which is fulfilled by Amazon, we want to make sure that we don't base our decision off an established brand, and we want to look at other similar Amazon FBA sellers that are selling the exact same product. Essentially, it levels out the playing field, so you're getting a more better representation of where your product sits and how it stands. The BSR is the bestseller ranking. So you have the title of the product, you have the category of the product. BSR is bestsellers ranking. So essentially you want to have a less amount of BSR. The lower the number, the higher it's ranked. That's how Amazon BSR ranking works. You'll also be able to see the BSR trend, the monthly revenue, the price, monthly sales, review quantity, review rate, and you want to look at the net profit. So over here you have different keywords on the second tab, the keyword tab. So other than night lights, you have nightlight, LED nightlight. You can look at the estimated search volume for these other keywords, the average sell price of these products as well, just to get a better idea of potential product variations, or if other keywords could be a better fit for the product that you're selling. If you go to trends, this is very important as well, because you want to make sure that your product is not a pump and dump. It's not, a fidget spinner where there's, it peaks and then it just completely goes down the drain. So you want to make sure that your product is not only evergreen, it's a pretty stable trend, and also it's not seasonal, meaning that, hey, this product won't just sell in the summer. You want a product that could generally sell all year long in all sorts of weather, and there's consistent demand for it. So I would say, the demand for night lights is pretty consistent. It's trending up and down relatively between 2,000 and 8,000. And the rate of review increase is about 318 a month. Analysis. So over here, even at the top here, you have the product idea score, and I love this feature on Viral Launch because it really gives you a good idea based off the algo and the data that it picked up and what it's processing. It will tell you how well they think this product will be for you to start your Amazon FBA business, and clearly it says stay far away from this product because you need a lot of reviews to sell. Like I mentioned earlier, reviews are very important. Not only do you have to have a good product, you have to have a lot of good reviews for you to rank on the first page, and it's going to be hard for you to compete in this space with established sellers that already have 4,000 or reviews. And the last tab here that you have is the calculator function, and essentially it breaks down the cost of the product. Keep in mind all the data that's extracted on Viral Launch, Helium 10, or Jungle Scout, these data are only estimates, but they're really, really close to what the exact numbers are. So that's why these tools have done wonders for a lot of people that are seasonal or beginners when it comes to selling on Amazon. So hopefully this gives you a good rundown of the Chrome extension of Viral Launch. All right, so we're on Viral Launch's dashboard. So as you can see here, it's pretty much a clean slate. If you go to the top left corner, the two arrows, you'll see a bunch of different tabs, and we went over market intelligence, and essentially that's the same function as the Chrome extension that we saw earlier over here, but this is an independent site search function. So just like how we did on Amazon, you can search up different products, night lights, and it'll essentially populate the same screen as the Chrome extension. Give it a few minutes to load here. The keywords, the trends analysis calculator. A tool that's really exciting for me is product discovery. So we want to come to product discovery, and I absolutely love this tool because if you see here, I can actually search for different types of products, or I can search for keywords, I can search for brands, I can search for categories. So what I like to search for is keywords, because keywords is playful. Keywords is what your end consumer types in when they're thinking or wanting to buy a product on Amazon. So with keywords, you can actually get a lot of inspiration and ideas for what similar product or what related product you can sell. And there are specific categories here. When it comes to categories, it's really important to keep in mind that there are restricted and gated categories, and Amazon is constantly updating this list. So I will leave a link down below to go over the latest gated and restricted categories for products to sell. And for your first product as a beginner Amazon FBA seller, I would recommend that you avoid these products because there's just more hassle and there's just more complications with getting your product up and running and for you to start selling on Amazon. For the first product, you want to stick with something that's more simple, easier, lightweight, and you just want to get the ball rolling so you can fully understand how the whole process works. So some of the categories that I personally like to look into is health and household, kitchen dining, office products, Automotive is kind of wonky because there are a lot of restricted products that you can sell, so I'll probably stay away from that. Beauty, personal care, home and kitchen. So I like to go for products that are more broad, that apply to a more generic audience. And the reason for that is because there's a high potential that more people are going to be looking for and needing that product, which correlates directly with more sales, more reviews, more money. Okay, so that's why I decide to pick these specific categories. You can definitely play around with different categories as well: arts, babies, books, CD, vinyls. Just kind of play around with them, see what you can find. Average monthly sales, again, when it comes to specific numbers, there's no exact formula. Just play around with these numbers, and you just might find some hidden gems, because chances are if you search for the same numbers on a daily basis with Viral Launch or Jungle Scout or Helium 10, you're gonna find the same products that keep on populating. So I would play around with these numbers. Like average monthly sales, you ideally want to see some sales because you want to confirm that there is demand for this product. The average price of the product is kind of interesting. When it comes to the average price of the product, you don't want a product that's like priced too low, because then after the Amazon FBA fees and also the referral fee from Amazon and the landing cost of getting a product shipped here and duties and everything, you're really not making a lot of profit on it. So I would recommend looking for products that are kind of just around $20 and maybe upwards of like $70. And this is kind of the sweet spot, which is also called like the impulse buy range. Essentially, buyers, when they're looking for a product and it's under this dollar amount, they're really not going to think twice before they pull the trigger on buying it. They're just simply going to buy it because they want it or need it. So that's kind of where you want to be. I generally leave the keyword contains blank because I don't really need it to filter anything else out. Sales to review ratio, again, it really varies depending on the category and the type of product, so I leave that blank as well. Average monthly revenue, you do want to see that they're converting and doing some sales, so let's just put like 1,000 and just put 5,000, because I mean this is what you essentially are hoping to make from selling this product. And keep in mind, revenue is before the expenses, so it's not your net profit. So, you know, give or take $5,000. Average review counts, you don't want too many reviews because then it would eat into your ability to rank and scale and get to the first page of Amazon. So you want to roughly have, you know, under 300 reviews, I would say. 300, 400 is kind of the sweet spot. You don't want to sell a product with no reviews, because then it's kind of like, you know, you're not sure if there's demand for it. But you don't also want a product that has like 5,000 reviews, because it's going to be nearly impossible for you to catch up to those Amazon sellers. Like, they've already established themselves and dominated the market in that space. And also you want some search volume. So roughly I would say like 1,000 is a good number to start. Another cool feature on Viral Launch is you can actually save your presets. So Viral Launch will have their own presets, you know, low barrier to entry, where they'll populate certain products. And you can also set your own. So I have set my own preset under my favorites, and I'm going to take a screenshot of this, and I'm also going to summarize just shortly here what metrics I look for and what's really important when it comes to finding a winning product. So definitely keep watching and you'll be in for a treat. So let's just kind of look at some products here. So right off the bat, you have a keyword search term, you have the estimated search volume, idea score, average price, average sales, average reviews. So I would like to sort the product based off idea score. Again, you can base it off the search volume, the average sales, average reviews. They kind of fluctuate depending on what you prioritize. So I like idea score because, again, this is Viral Launch's algorithm telling me that they think that there is a high potential for this product to succeed, which takes a lot of the heavy lifting off my shoulders. So we have a solar fountain. So here we can either go to view market intelligence or view on Amazon. First thing I like to do is check out this product on Amazon just to get an idea of exactly what this product is. Okay, it's a solar fountain. That's cool. Next thing I like to do is click on this market intelligence tool. So I look at the numbers. Give it a few minutes to load. Oh, boom. Estimated search volume, 46,000 people are searching for this product monthly. And the average review count is brilliant. There's only 167 reviews. Monthly sales, 1,583. Wow. So again, disregard the review outlier, but if you look at the other sellers, especially in the top 10, hey, 38,000, 40,000, 44, like they all are making really good money here. Wow, 105,000. And the price of the product falls in that sweet spot, you know, just 20 to 70, 20 to 50. And also you can look at the monthly sales, which is pretty evenly spread out. Review quality across the board seems relatively low, which is phenomenal to see. Because it gives us enough room for us to just squeeze into the space and, you know, compete with the other Amazon sellers, see if we can be the one that dominates the space. So this could potentially look like a winning product. Looks very promising to me. And the next thing I like to do here is I would like to go here and let's just find a product that's ranked. Sure, this one. Rank number 1, I like to skip through the sponsored products because they're not, again, we want to go for the organically ranked number 1 bestseller. And what I like to do now is I would actually recommend that you download Helium 10 as a Chrome extension. Helium 10 has an amazing tool called the profitability calculator. So like I mentioned earlier, you don't want to sell a product that's priced too low because after all the costs of acquiring this product and all the fees that Amazon charges for you to sell on this platform, you're really not making a lot of profit. And the great thing about Helium 10's Chrome extension and the profitability calculator, as you can see here, it breaks down the cost for you, okay? Again, these are an estimated cost, but it's actually quite accurate because in the past when I was doing product research, you know, I'm thinking, how would you know what the unit manufacturing cost for this product? $3. Like, really? Sure. Okay, big deal. I actually went to Alibaba, which I'm going to show you in a little bit here too, and I contacted manufacturers for the specific product that I was looking up, and they quoted me the unit price for that product to be around the same price that they have up here. So for that reason, I love Helium 10's Chrome extension, and it's a free tool to use. But if you want to have more features, such as, you know, getting access to, you know, the search functions on Viral Launch or Helium 10, that would come at a monthly subscription. And honestly, guys, like, go all in. This tool is gonna be a huge lifesaver because when I was starting off my Amazon FBA journey, like, if I didn't have this tool, I honestly wouldn't know where to start. I would be lost in a sea of products. Like, there's millions and millions of products out there, and to me, I love numbers, and so when I can see the breakdown of the numbers and it makes sense to me, like, that gives me assurance that I can go ahead and pull the trigger to order inventory for this product, to source it, to put it on Amazon, to sell it. So what's a couple $100, you know, for you to pay to potentially make like 40K, like 72K a month? Like, come on, it's a steal of a deal. So don't cheap out. Definitely get it, and you won't regret it. Like, trust me, you'll thank me later. So if you look at the productivity breakdown, we have the price that's priced at, estimated storage time, manufacturing cost, the freight cost. So we'll break down all the fees. See, Amazon FBA fee, $3.48. Referral fee, flat 15% that Amazon charges for referring a customer to buy a product. So after all expenses, like, wow, you're looking at about a 40% profit margin. And keep in mind, this is before you run ads and before you help market your product so you can get more exposure. So I would likely like to see the product that I'm potentially looking to sell fall around 40% because that gives me about 10% of wiggle room to play around with maybe some marketing money, to get professional photos done for the product, to get professional copywriting done, maybe to get a product video made as well to explain the product and how to use it better. So just to factor in the excess marketing costs, my net profit that I want to see, absolute bottom line, is at least 30% profit margin for me to even consider selling this product, because we're selling this product to make money on Amazon. And for all the amount of time that you put into this business, you want to make sure that you get an equal, if not greater, return on investment of your time. Remember guys, time is your biggest asset, so you got to protect your time. So if I don't see 40%, 35 to 40 here, I won't even bother. And if I do see it, the next thing you want to do here, for example, if this is going to be our winning product, well, then didn't think that, that usually never happens, by the way, so you guys are definitely in for a treat. So let's just roll with this product, all right? So after we do that, I would like to look at the reviews and the ratings. I like to check the 1-star ratings just to see what people say about the product. Water is too high, needles not high in purchase, low quality product. Okay, does not work, not functional. Okay, but if you look at the ratio again of reviews, I mean 30%, you're always gonna have a lot of Debbie Downers and Betty Boopers that complain about the product. I mean, even if it's working perfectly fine, they still complain about it. But I want to see a spread like this where ideally 50 to 75% of all your reviews, product reviews, are higher than 5 stars, and you kind of want to see it trickle down. So you'll have for 10,000 reviews, you're gonna have a few broken eggs, if you want to put it that way. But the average rating is 3.8 out of 5 for 13K reviews, so that looks like a great product to me. So the number one thing I look at is demand, and these are some of the metrics that I look out for. BSR, search volume, units sold per day. And for BSR, I want to see as many listings on page 1 under 10,000 BSR. And as for the search volume, I want a minimum of 1,500 search volumes per month. The second metric I look at is the competition. And the way we look at competition is to look at the reviews. And like I said, because Amazon is so heavily leveraged, the algorithm is so heavily leveraged on the amount of reviews that you have, in order for us to even compete with the existing FBA sellers on the platform, but we also want enough reviews to ensure that this is going to be a product that's going to have high enough demand. We want to look at the products with a review count of under 500. The third thing we want to look at is brand dominated. So we want to check the brand domination column to see if this product is dominated by one brand. And a good example of this is tissue paper. When you think about tissue paper, we look up tissue paper. For example, the number one brand that pops up is Kleenex. So, because everyone associates that brand with a specific product, it's going to be hard for you to come in here and launch your own. I mean, there's Charmin and Puffs, but pretty much mostly Kleenex. And yeah, it would be essentially impossible for you to. The next metric I look at is sales depth. And the sales, like I said earlier, must not be dominated by 2 to 3 sellers. And a good indication of sales depth is if someone at the bottom of page 1 is selling at least $7,000 in monthly revenue for that product, then that's a good indication that there is a strong demand and there is a really even sales profit and spread for everyone to make money in. The next thing I look at is the seasonality of the product and trend. And as we talked about earlier, we want to make sure we make money year round, not just get stuck with inventory in the winter or fall time and be able to sell like crazy in spring and summer. So we want to check the market trends, as I showed you guys earlier in Viral Launch for that specific product. And another good tool to look at is Google Trends as well. So we want to go on Google Trends and look at the product. Again, a good example of what not to sell is fidget spinners, because it's a fad, and we don't want a fad, because then we're gonna get all these products and they're not gonna convert. Look at this, boom, demand blew up and it just crashed. So you don't want to be in the process of getting your product, and once you get it shipped to Amazon, for it to then just crash on you, because guess what, you're gonna lose out on it's gonna cost you a lot. You're not gonna be able to offload your inventory, and you're gonna be stuck with a lot of inventory, and you got to get rid of it somehow. So that's a good reminder and a good way to check. The last thing you want to look for is profit, and as I mentioned earlier, your revenue minus your cost is your profit. Okay, so don't get excited when you see monthly revenue. That is before you factor in the cost of the product. And the net profit, absolute bottom line net profit that I want to see is at least 30%. So if you remember, if we go to Helium 10 here, let's click around the product again. I want to make sure that this product has a profitability, 28%. So again, I want to see at least 35 to 40, because I want a little bit of wiggle room for the marketing cost and other miscellaneous costs to come along. So if this product is gonna get me 28%, I'm not gonna continue, and this product isn't a good fit for me. You go back and watch my thought process and breakdown of how I do product research and what I'm looking for to find a winner. It's not gonna happen as quickly as we saw in this tutorial. Also, guys, know that this is going to be a long-term game, and be patient, because you're going to be thinking that you found a great product, and you're going to run the numbers and check the metrics, and it's not going to work out. So don't be discouraged. This is going to be a long game. Let's get into it. Once we found a winning product, the next thing you're going to have to do is find a factory to make this product, and the best way to do so is just go to Alibaba. And the first thing I want to do is to order a sample of the product. Order a sample of the product. It's going to take about 5 to 10 business days to ship overseas from China. The cost of fast shipping by air is around $30 US. When it comes to ordering samples, what I like to do instead is to actually order samples from my top competitors directly on Amazon. If I have Amazon Prime, shipping is free, and it will only take me 2 days for the product to arrive. Not only can I examine the product, I can also see how they do their packaging, if they have any inserts in the product, how does it feel. Looking at the product and examining it, I can determine if this product is gonna do it for me, if this is gonna be a product that I can see myself buying. So I will examine the product and decide if I want to go back to product research or continue with and reach out to manufacturers to order some product. And another thing about buying samples from your competitors is that Amazon has a great customer service. So you can look at the sample and you can return the product without paying a dime. So I think this is a great way, especially when I was starting. This was such an amazing and effective and time efficient way for me to not only do product research online, but also I would consistently order a few products every week to look at it on the weekend. So I'm constantly examining products, looking at different packaging, looking at different labeling, looking at the inserts that I put in. So I'm getting a lot of ideas and looking at a lot of top quality listings. And from that, it just makes the whole process a lot easier, because now I know how to differentiate between a good product and a bad product, and good packaging and bad packaging, and I can then pass on all my knowledge and all my experience and all this information to my manufacturer to make sure to get me the best product possible. After you play around with a few samples and you find a product that you think you can proceed with, then would it make sense for you to contact manufacturers on Alibaba. So when you contact manufacturers on Alibaba, it's pretty simple. Again, it's kind of like Amazon, but you want to search for suppliers. So I would look for Tesla floor mats, for example, and boom. So again, Alibaba has their own system of ranking suppliers. So a few metrics that you want to see is the recent transactions and the dollar amount for that. You also want these badges: trade assurance, gold supplier. Yeah, just in case anything goes wrong, it would be better if you had trade insurance. And ideally, the supplier index, the more diamonds, the more reputable it is. And for the transaction amount, I would ideally like to see more than 50,000 transactions or $50,000 worth of transactions. So after we look at a few, what I recommend is, you can just click on contact supplier. You can access now. But another thing that I would personally like to do is just to add it to favorites. Okay, so if we just keep browsing, and ideally for your first product, after you do the sample test from your top competitor on Amazon and ordering it from there and sending it back, I would recommend that you reach out to at least 10 manufacturers for your first product. This way you can compare the quotes, you can compare the response time, you can compare the packaging and all those good stuff. And from the 10 manufacturers and suppliers that you contact, I would pick 2 that are the cheapest and 2 that are the most expensive products. Again, just to compare the quality of build. You want a manufacturer that's on top of their shit and they're actively communicating with you, they're responding in a very timely manner, and in case anything goes wrong during the process of ordering a product, you can count on them and contact them. And after you favorited some products, like what you want to do here is you want to check my favorites. And when you click on check my favorites, you can look at all the products here, that all the suppliers that you selected. So to save you time, you want to select all the suppliers here, and after you do that, you're gonna click on this button, which is contact supplier. So now, instead of contacting the supplier one by one and typing the exact same email, you're able to contact 3 suppliers at one time. So this is gonna be super time efficient. So after you order a few samples from the suppliers and you pick the best supplier manufacturer to work with, the next thing you want to do is to design the packaging and labels, and most importantly, you want to arrange a third-party inspection company to come in and do an inspection of the product before it gets shipped to Amazon's warehouse. And that's very important because you want to make sure that the product meets all the requirements in order to list and sell the product on Amazon. You don't want the product to be shipped overseas for you to spend all that money on transporting the goods over, and for Amazon to say, oh, sorry, we actually can't sell this product on our platform. So that's very important. And the product inspection is there to protect you and your consumers, because you don't want to end up with a bunch of poor quality products that weren't up to par with Apple product that you initially ordered, because guess what? It's going to be a headache for you to deal with customers and the refunds, and it's going to affect your ranking and rating and the reviews of the product. So you see where I'm kind of going with this. You want to make sure that you take things step by step, and every process of the way you make sure things are done properly. And after the product is inspected and it meets all the requirements to sell on Amazon, then the next thing is you got to finalize the shipping plan. So there's 2 ways to get the product shipped overseas from China, most likely, if you're sourcing from Alibaba, to United States or Canada or wherever the Amazon warehouse is in the country or area that you're selling in. So there's air, and then there's by ship. So air is obviously going to be more expensive per volume, and I recommend air shipping for smaller quantities of products because it's faster. So you can probably get the product in about 5 to 10 business days, depending on where you're shipping to. By ocean is obviously going to take longer. So ocean is more cost effective and best for a larger quantity of products, but it will take 2 to 5 weeks to get there. So I wouldn't worry too much about the shipping. Once you get to that point, and in the process you'll learn about it and you'll make the right decision. Amazon.com, and you need two things. Number one is government issued ID, which is a passport, and number two, you need a registered business account. So depending on which country you're in, in Canada you could set up a corporation or a LLC, and there are a lot of great resources that you can go to. I would recommend talking to your accountant because you want to make sure that you set up your business that is most tax efficient when it comes to Amazon, and you want to set up a business that meets what you're looking to do. So I would recommend consulting your accountant for some tax advice, or even visit some government organizations. Like in BC, there's like the Small Business Bureau, where you can reach out to them and ask them any questions that you might have relating to starting a business in BC, and they'll walk you kind of through the whole process. Essentially get some paperwork signed. Lawyers can draft that up, your lawyer can, and just send it off to the government to get it processed. And usually within a few weeks you'll hear back from them with your business registered. So once you have the business registry, which will take about a few weeks to get, and your government ID, then you can start to learn about creating an account and selling on Amazon. So I would link this down below, but essentially if you want to learn more about the pricing, you can get a better idea of the selling plans and how much they cost. So when starting off, I recommend that you start with the individual plan, which is 99 cents per item sold. Again, this isn't very cost effective from a business standpoint, but when you're still getting everything set up and before your product gets here, before you have a listing set up, all the photos, the videos done, this is the most cost-effective way, because then you can always upgrade your plan to a professional plan, which is about $40 a month. And ideally, you want to get to the professional plan when you start selling. So that's very important. The next thing you want to do is to create a killer product listing. Okay, so how do we do that, John? Well, again, we're going to leverage the tool that we just used to find products. So the good thing about this program and software is it's going to be able to pull up your top competitors. So what you want to do is, based off the ranking, you want to click on each of these numbers, and I'm just going to click on a few here to give you an idea, but you want to click on maybe 3, 4, maybe like seller 8 or something. Cool. Well, wow, so you have 5 of the top selling formats here, and as you can see here, it's not a really good example because they are all similar, except, so let's get a few different ones. So different brands, let's try this brand, let's click on Freza. Cool. So you have all of these product listings that your top competitors for this keyword search term for this particular product. And really what you want to see here is look at how they're doing their photos and what you can do better. So look at what they're doing and see how you can make it better, how you can demonstrate the product better, how you can make the product image more enticing. And other than the picture, which is really important because that's kind of the first thing they see. First they look at the title and then the photos, and then they look at the rating, but then they'll scroll down and they'll look at the description. So the description is equally just as important. And you kind of want to read the description and see like how they're laying out. Like they use text and colons to kind of separate the different benefits of the product. For this one, they highlighted the specific benefits of the product as well. This one, everything is in lowercase, but you kind of want to pick out the key terms that a lot of these sellers are using. Custom design, all weatherproof, like premium material. You want to pick out the key. This is copywriting, so you want to pick out these keywords that these sellers are using to describe their products to make it look and sound better. And that's how you're going to get people to buy your product. So again, with the tool that you have, it's going to be really easy to really get inspiration from the top sellers that are competing in the same space and selling the same product. And once you do all of that, the most important thing after that is the reviews. And the review section, you can't really build reviews or buy them, but just know that it's going to be extremely important for the life of your product. As you get more and more sales, people will start to review your price and your product, and this is what's going to really make your product successful. If you have 1,000 reviews on your product, you're going to be converting, you're going to be doing really well as long as the product reviews are good and the photos are good, the copies are good, the title absolutely matches what you're selling and describing the product that you're selling. Then you have equity in the product, and with so many reviews, you can build equity to then potentially sell off the company one day, because that is so valuable. So you can, like a company, you can sell this listing to someone else in the future if you want. One thing I like to do is actually email your clients when they make a purchase, and once they receive the product, is to set an automatic email that goes out 2 or 3 days after the product is delivered. And it basically just asks for their feedback on the product, which essentially is a review. Again, you can't, it's kind of gray area for Amazon because they specifically said in the guideline that you can't directly ask for a customer review, but you can ask for feedback. You see the catch there? I recommend any new seller to do this because that's going to increase your conversion rate by a lot. And for most products, if you don't send these emails out to them, maybe 1 or 2 out of 100 purchases you will get a review from. But obviously we want more than that. We want at least 5 reviews because that's going to really help your product take off. And I really have to reiterate to you guys that launching an Amazon FBA business is not a fast business to make money, and you'll likely not make money for at least the first few months. I mean, right when you start, you'll be doing a lot of research. You have to learn a ton about how to talk to suppliers, how to get these products shipped over, how to get samples, how to negotiate on the pricing. There's just a lot of things you need to focus on and learn from. And that's the reason why I think so many people are successful on Amazon, is because this platform is the king and queen of e-commerce. So many eyes and so many potential customers on this platform. If you're able to really find a product that is profitable, that people are actually looking to buy, and it isn't too competitive, then that's the winning formula. And if you follow through, if you create the product and you make a good listing, and your product will sell, I guarantee that. You have to make a huge initial investment of time at the beginning, guys. Like, building up an e-commerce brand is not that easy, but once you set up this whole system, then you will have a reoccurring business where you just get sales and Amazon takes care of everything. And it becomes extremely passive for you guys. I don't spend any time managing my Amazon store. The only time I have to actually do something is when I run out of inventory or stock. And even then, it's very simple. All I have to do is contact my supplier and get them to ship more stock to me, to Amazon there for me to sell. And that's pretty much it. It will just continue to sell on its own on Amazon's platform. And a lot of people think it's too late to get into Amazon FBA. And while it is a lot harder now because there's a lot more competition than it was 2 years ago, it's definitely still possible. I see people starting out recently that are doing extremely well. It is harder, but you guys, if you are smart, you can find the right product, do the product research, follow the metrics that they've laid out for you in this video. You will be successful. Hey guys, well, I hope you got a ton of value out of this video. This is kind of like a step-by-step brief guide on how you can actually get started building your Amazon FBA business. Do I recommend it? I do. It is more risky than a lot of other businesses you could start because the initial investment every product you have to buy in bulk, and if it doesn't sell, it's not profitable and you will lose some money. But like I always say, you guys just need to take action. Just don't think about it too much. Don't be too worried about losing money, because the lessons you learn in starting these businesses are going to be priceless. You'll learn so many different things about e-commerce, about sourcing products, about building your own listing and photography and all that stuff. And even if you lose money, and I'm not saying even, because you probably won't, you're going to get a lot of value out of that money. Amazon FBA has helped me out with my other businesses, and it's just the perfect business for someone to start from home. You can literally do Amazon FBA from, because we're living in a really cool time and there are so many different ways to make money. And if you're looking for a way to make money that's more unique, which is very flexible, when you can do whatever you want, anywhere you want, with a lot of earning potential, then Amazon FBA could be the right business for you, especially in 2021. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I make a ton of videos about investing, Teslas, entrepreneurship, personal finance. Oh, and if you have any friends that are interested in Amazon or start an Amazon business, definitely make sure to share this video with them. I think it's gonna help them out a lot. And that's it for today. So thank you so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!